Newcastle's transfer business is heating up. So from discussing the truth behind the accepted Gordon bid.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness!
To Newcastle being handed a massive boost in their pursuit to sign a midfield monster, to revealing Newcastle's response to the Jonathan David rumours after reported talks. We'll also uncover the secret talks between Eddie Howe and Harvey Barnes which could impact his future at Newcastle. As per, join us as we'll break it all down and discuss the latest Newcastle United transfer news.
Let's go!
So starting off, Anthony Gordon looks set to become the latest high-profile departure from Newcastle United, after reports emerged that the club have accepted an offer from Barcelona worth up to £69.3 million, including add-ons. News first broke on Wednesday morning that Barcelona had moved ahead of Bayern Munich in the race for Gordon's signature after the German champions refused to match Newcastle's valuation. According to The Athletic's David Ornstein, Barcelona submitted a proposal worth €80 million, or £69.3 million, plus add-ons following talks with the players' camp and Newcastle officials. While the exact structure of the package remains unclear, the move gathered serious momentum throughout the day, with Fabrizio Romano later reporting that Newcastle had accepted the proposal. Romano also revealed that Gordon is expected to arrive in Barcelona today to undergo medical tests and complete the formalities of the transfer. Understand Anthony Gordon will land in Barcelona right after lunch today. Medical tests to follow in the afternoon, Romano posted on X. There is, however, some discrepancy regarding the final fee. Earlier reports suggested Barcelona's offer was a guaranteed €80 million package, but Romano later clarified that the fixed fee is actually closer to €70 million, or £60 million, with achievable add-ons taking the overall value to €80 million. Either way, Newcastle appear to have softened their stance slightly after previously valuing Gordon at around £80 million, although several reports in recent weeks indicated that a deal in the region of £70 to £75 million would likely have been enough to secure an agreement. Barcelona boss Hansi Flick reportedly views Gordon as the ideal player to replicate the role Marcus Rashford performed during his loan spell from Manchester United, suggesting the Catalan side are prioritizing pace, aggression and direct running in wide areas. The move will also hand Everton a financial boost due to the sell-on clause included in Gordon's original £45 million transfer to Newcastle back in 2023. For Newcastle, this now becomes a hugely important summer. Losing Gordon is a major blow on the pitch given his intensity, pressing and ability to stretch defenses, but the sale should provide crucial financial flexibility after UEFA squad cost ratio concerns and the club's failure to qualify for Europe next season. Attention will now quickly turn towards replacements, with Newcastle already linked to several wide forwards including Savinho, Victor Munoz, Abde Ezalzouli, and Bazumana Toure in recent weeks. Provided there are no late complications, Gordon looks set to become a Barcelona player before linking up with England ahead of the World Cup, bringing an end to one of the biggest transfer sagas of Newcastle's summer. Then moving on, as Monaco appear increasingly open to cashing in on Lamine Camara this summer, handing Newcastle United a potential boost in their pursuit of the highly rated midfielder. The Senegal international has been heavily linked with a move to St James's Park for several months, and with the transfer window approaching, speculation surrounding a summer switch is only intensifying. Reports earlier this month suggested Newcastle had already held talks regarding Camara, with Monaco making it clear that they value the 22-year-old at around £43 million. No official bid has emerged yet, but the latest developments from France suggest the Ligue 1 side may now be more willing to negotiate following their failure to qualify for the Champions League. Get French football news editor Luc Entwistle believes missing out on Europe's top competition could force Monaco into selling some of their most valuable assets this summer, and Camara is firmly among them. They are very open to a sale, especially since they have missed out on Champions League football, Entwistle told the Chronicle. That does mean their most bankable assets will likely have to leave. Magnus Akliuche is one of them, Folarin Balogun is another, and Camara is the third of those. Entwistle added that Monaco deliberately target players capable of attracting Premier League interest in the future, with Camara fitting that profile perfectly. He is someone who they are looking at as a Premier League-ready profile, and someone who therefore they can sell to the Premier League, which is essentially what all French clubs are now trying to do. They are trying to fill their squads full of players who would be of potential interest to clubs in the Premier League, and Kamara is one of those. I definitely expect Monaco to try and cash in on that. Kamara has impressed during his time in France thanks to his energy, composure in possession, and ability to break up play. But another part of his game that could particularly appeal to Newcastle is his quality from set pieces. The Magpies have struggled badly from dead ball situations in recent seasons and have not scored directly from a free kick since the 2022 campaign, a remarkable statistic considering the number of dangerous positions they regularly find themselves in. Kamara's delivery from corners and free kicks is regarded as one of his standout attributes, adding another layer to a midfield profile Newcastle already admire. While £43 million may still feel slightly steep, especially for a player who has also had injury interruptions this season, Monaco's apparent willingness to sell could give Newcastle an opportunity to negotiate a more favourable package. With Sandro Tonali's future still attracting attention from Europe's elite and Newcastle keen to rejuvenate the midfield regardless, Kamara continues to look like one of the club's most realistic and sensible targets heading into the summer window. Then, Newcastle United have reportedly cooled their interest in Juventus striker Jonathan David, despite fresh rumours linking the Canadian international with a move to St James's Park this summer. The Magpies have tracked David for years, and were heavily linked with the forward before he eventually joined Juventus, after leaving Lille on a free transfer. At the time, Newcastle were viewed as one of several clubs monitoring his situation closely, with Eddie Howe believed to be a long-term admirer of the striker's movement, finishing and versatility across the front line. However, David's first season in Serie A has not gone according to plan. The 26-year-old managed just 6 goals for Juventus during a difficult debut campaign in Turin, and reports in Italy now suggest the club are willing to let him leave only 1 year after his arrival. Initially, it was believed Juventus would consider a loan move, but more recent reports claim a permanent transfer could be possible for around £25 million, a fee that would ordinarily look extremely attractive in today's market. Despite that, the Chronicle report that Newcastle are not currently pursuing a deal. The report claims club insiders have dismissed suggestions that David's representatives recently contacted Newcastle regarding a potential move, insisting those rumours are false. Instead, it is understood Eddie Howe is satisfied with the striker options already available within the squad. That represents a shift from Newcastle's earlier transfer priorities, when adding another centre-forward was believed to be high on the agenda. Much of that change appears to stem from the emergence of Will Osula towards the end of the season, alongside growing confidence internally that Nick Woltemade and Yoanna Wissa can contribute significantly more after benefiting from a full pre-season under Howe. Newcastle therefore seem prepared to place trust in internal development, rather than immediately entering the market for another striker. Even so, there is still an argument that Jonathan David could represent an opportunity too good to ignore. At £25 million, a player with David's pedigree, age profile and goal-scoring history would normally attract major interest across Europe, especially given he is entering what should be the peak years of his career. While his Juventus spell has clearly not worked out so far, one difficult season does not erase the quality he displayed consistently in France and on the international stage with Canada. Wages and the absence of European football could complicate any potential move to Newcastle regardless. But from a purely footballing perspective, David would still appear to fit many of the characteristics the club have targeted under the current ownership. For now, though, Newcastle's position appears clear. Strengthening other areas of the squad is the bigger priority, and despite the renewed speculation, Jonathan David is not currently expected to be heading to Tyneside this summer. Then Newcastle United are determined not to lose Harvey Barnes this summer, despite growing interest from Aston Villa following the winger's impressive season at St James's Park. Villa boss Unai Emery is believed to be a huge admirer of Barnes and sees the Newcastle winger as a player capable of adding even more pace, directness and counter-attacking threat to his side ahead of another Champions League campaign. After securing qualification for Europe's top competition, Villa are expected to strengthen heavily this summer, and Barnes has emerged as one of the names under consideration. The 28-year-old enjoyed a productive campaign for Newcastle, finishing as the club's second highest scorer behind Anthony Gordon, and regularly delivering goals despite never truly cementing a guaranteed starting role under Eddie Howe. Barnes's pace, intelligent movement, and ability to quickly transition from defense to attack are thought to be key reasons behind Villa's interest, with Emery valuing wide forwards who can stretch games vertically and punish teams in transition. However, Newcastle are not looking to part ways with the former Leicester City winger. According to the Chronicle, Eddie Howe has already spoken with Barnes and offered assurances regarding his role heading into next season, especially with Anthony Gordon now expected to complete a move to Barcelona. Gordon's departure potentially opens the door for Barnes to finally make the left wing position his own, after 2 frustrating years where injuries, rotation, and tactical adjustments have prevented him from building consistent momentum. Howe has long been a huge admirer of Barnes. When Newcastle were first linked with Leicester City players during the club's relegation battle, many supporters believed the Magpies were prioritising a move for James Maddison. In reality, Howe was reportedly just as focused on Barnes, eventually convincing the club to bring him to Tyneside in a £38 million deal. The Newcastle manager remains delighted with Barnes's contribution and believes there is still more to come if he is finally handed a prolonged run of starts in his natural position. One of the biggest frustrations surrounding Barnes's time at Newcastle has been the stop-start nature of his opportunities. Even when Gordon was unavailable or deployed centrally, Barnes rarely enjoyed an uninterrupted run of matches on the left flank. Whenever he produced a quieter performance, Howe often rotated him out of the side or shifted him across the front line. As a result, supporters have only seen flashes of what Barnes is truly capable of. There is now a growing feeling that next season could finally provide him with the platform to become a key figure in Newcastle's attack. That said, much will still depend on Newcastle's recruitment plans. The Magpies continue to be linked with several left-sided attackers as they prepare for Gordon's exit, meaning Barnes could still face fresh competition if a major signing arrives. For now, though, Newcastle's message appears clear. Harvey Barnes remains an important part of Eddie Howe's plans, and the club are keen to keep him despite Aston Villa's interest. Then, in a massive development, if you would want to know the detail behind Newcastle submitting a bid offer for an exciting signing, click the video link on screen now.